What's up? What's going on? Hide and read. Got an awesome book haul for you guys today. It's kind of crazy. Uh, I can't even tell you the half of it, to be honest. There's gonna be a little bit of noise in this one. That should be about as loud as it gets. There's an owl flying around, lots of bugs, and it's probably gonna take me a while to get through this. Who knows? But I'm on my grandpa's back porch. I'm in where am I? I'm right outside Roanoke, Virginia, up in the mountains. It's awesome out here. Uh, Visiting, doing a little bit of business, a little bit of soul searching, and I don't know. I don't take vacations, not because I I work hard or anything. I just don't believe in it, to be honest. I could never go somewhere and rest, especially if it's somewhere interesting that I'm interested in. I'm not gonna lay next to a pool or something. You can do that at home, and I don't. So yeah, this I can't even tell you how cool this book haul is. I'm just gonna show you some stuff. In future videos, you'll like put the pieces together. But oh boy, got my coffee. Let's get started. Now, you know very well, or maybe you don't. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you're new here. But a lot of you have been following. A lot of you have been watching from the sidelines. Some of you are unsubscribing and then still watching my videos and then resubscribing and unsubscribing. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I'm infatuated with Western genre. I like Americana stuff. I like yeah, American history, prehistory, and anything frontier. I don't even care what frontier it is, as long as it's not space. I'm not into that frontier. Maybe one day. I don't think so, but I just love action, adventure, frontier kind of stuff, and anything to do with it. Anything that gives me like surrounding knowledge about it. And yeah, you're gonna see it a little bit. I went to a used bookstore, but it was like one of these collectors kind of bookstores, and that's just if you've been to these kind of stores, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. You'll be in there for 10 minutes and you're gonna hear three annoying intellectual conversations. Usually somebody at the front desk trying to impress the people that work there. I just I just get my shit and get out of there. And I always pay too much. Okay, but I'll show you. I'll show you real quick what I got there. I got three books. Um, Where are they? One, two, three. Okay. I'll save the coolest one for last. Well, who knows until I read them. Louis L'Amour, Skyliners, which is the final book in the Sackett series. I didn't have this one. There's a couple I'm missing, really. Having a lot of fun with that, guys. I haven't even started to the far blue mountains, and these guys are just blazing past me. Somebody has to be responsible and make sure nobody gets left behind, and I guess that's me. And whoever else is procrastinating. We're not procrastinating. We just care about you slowpokes. Okay. Reading the West, an anthology of dime westerns, and I saw this. I was like, I need to have this because, uh, especially in the Johnstone books, a lot of the characters are reading dime westerns and they're familiar with them. And then also, if you like Western genre, a lot of the authors were, they grew up reading dime westerns or they're fans of dime westerns, and they're a little bit different than like the classic kind of westerns that we read, or even like the newer ones like Louis L'Amour. Um, a really famous one. I don't want to get uh, sent to the shadow realms on this app, so we'll just call it uh, Deadwood Richard. Was one of the popular ones. And yeah, you'll see when you read westerns, sometimes the characters will be familiar with these, and it's like some of it is kind of true, or it's exaggerated, and they're they're written for just like a very common like the real meaning of this term, vulgar audience, basically. So it's not like they're not going to be difficult to read. And yeah, I'm really interested in this. Anytime, any kind of art, I'm interested in what inspired the artist. I don't really care about, like if I like it, I don't care about like reviewers and critiques, and I won't like delve too deep into the weeds with the stuff that I like. I'm more interested in what inspired the artist. So, and a lot of times that's going to be these dime westerns. So I got a couple of them in here. That should be fun. Reading the West, anthology of dime westerns. Okay, and here's the last one I picked up. I'm starting to have a couple of these Grosset and Dunlap books. They're really cool. Frontier Days, Oliver G. Swan. James, if you're watching this, you would really like these books if you see them. They're a little bit hard to come by. Don't pay too much for these things. They're not really worth that much. I paid $18 for this, which is fair. It's fair. But the reason why I think you would like this is because he's a fan of prints. He likes printing, and me too. And the prints in these are just amazing. And don't worry about the condition of them. If they're in rough shape, it's fine because they're like from like 1930 something. But yeah, the prints are just amazing, and they have a texture to them because they're stamped. Like you could feel them. Let me show you some cool ones. They're all cool. Yeah. I said they're all cool, and then I got nervous. And like you could feel them. So if you're a fan of print, like print block, these books are great. And I know they have stuff from other genres too, but right now I'm just collecting Western. So I got a couple of these now. Oliver G. Swan, Frontier Days. And I think this is actually a collection of, like an anthology, basically. So I don't really collect them, I read them. That's how I excuse myself. I'm not a collector, so I say. All right. So those three books, without being tacky, I'll just say I paid 150% more for those three books than what you're going to see on display next. Oh, dogs are out. And what you're going to see is, yeah, it's kind of just insane. I paid them extra money, basically, because they didn't charge me enough. This was at a library sale. I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and I was so shocked to find all this. But first, cool little bookmark. Love it. Okay. I put these back in the box in some kind of order. Let's see how I do. Early Man in the New World. It's got all kinds of like tools and skull shapes for me to nerd out on. Yeah. If you're ever planning to write westerns, you kind of need this kind of stuff. There you go. Maybe you don't need it, but Louis L'Amour would suggest that you do, and I'm a big fan of his westerns, so like I said, whatever inspired the artist that I like, that's what I'm interested in. Sometimes even more than the artist. Here's another one, speaking of Louis L'Amour, The Gunfighter, which is a non-fiction book, just about different, like the truth of the different gunfighters in the Wild West. Some cool pictures too. See, when you're reading westerns, you don't think of a guy looking like that. There he is. Some more. Well, those gotta be the bad guys. I don't know. We'll find out. They kind of look like me. There's some more stuff. This is a box set. Great River, the Rio Grande. Yeah, I'm really specifically obsessed recently with New Mexico and like Spain, being there before, like, you know, our American cowboys. Like, I don't know, this is just really interesting to me, like the Spanish being in America and their interaction with the natives is much different than how the English or the French interacted with them. And we give a lot of heat to uh, the colonizers, and nobody really pays attention to how the Spanish, interacted in America. Like, people will tell you about Columbus, like Italians and whatever, um, like in South America, Central America, all this kind of stuff, but nobody really, or Cortez, like, but nobody really talks too much about the Spanish in like New Mexico. And there's a lot of cool architecture, and like uh, the oldest the oldest continuous dwellings are in New Mexico. What is it? Something Pueblo. It's escaping me right now, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, and a lot of the technology that they built is still there and still in use. So this one has Great River, Rio Grande. I'm sorry, I can't read this right now. I got to flip it around. Indians in Spain, and Mexico in the United States. So this should be fun. This should be fun. I think this was written in the 50s. And I have a preference for older history. To be honest, I don't, you know, current history reads like, I don't know, it's more like entertainment. And not in a good way. It's like kind of like, this happened, and then this happened, and this guy did this, and then that guy did this, and I'm just like, not not terribly interested in that. I just prefer the older style of history books. Just infinitely more interesting to me. And I mean, people get so offended, to be honest. The thin skin of some of these readers is crazy. It's crazy. How do you read books and have a thin skin? I don't know. You're reading the wrong stuff. Perhaps. Here's one. The Horizon of Vanishing Primitive Man. Another box set. Not a set, it's just a box book, which is pretty. And this one has all different types of like Aboriginal peoples from. Oh, here's one. I'm really into Ainu in Japan, which are like these like blue-eyed, kind of like kind of Caucasian-looking natives in Japan, who are like some of the original people from the area. And the people that we think of as Japanese actually push them like up north, and those people are uh, I don't want to misspeak, so I won't even say it, but like some of the original people from Japan don't look anything like we consider Japanese people. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that. And if that sounds fun to you, and you liked my little manga comic book I think you should read series, I'm definitely doing one on this series called Golden Kamuy, and it has a lot to do with that and their culture and history, and I've been saving it for the end, basically. I'm a big fan of it. Okay, here's a cool one. I've showed you books on here before that, because of this platform, I'm not going to show you the inside, because although they claim that this is somewhere for education, it's not, because I can't open this book and show you a bunch of mummies, like children mummies and stuff. But this is Long Live the Dead. And it's like mostly photographs of these kind of accidental mummies in Mexico. They went through the crypts and found out that about 1 in 100 of the bodies were just naturally mummified. I'm not really sure how that happened, but it wasn't all of them. It was like about 1 in 100, and there's a lot of pictures of, and they kind of they did strange things with these mummies. They put them in poses. They dressed them up as different characters, different religious figures, and it's like very Mexican, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, I don't know else how to say it. Like, they have their own kind of their own kind of rhythm. The Mexican people are so cool. But yeah, Long Live the Dead. And their food is just out of this world. In this world, Mexico. Alright. Ancient Pioneers, the First Americans. And now immediately if you are into Louis L'Amour, if you've read a bunch of Louis L'Amour books, you're skeptical of this. The first Americans, ancient pioneers. What are you implying here? That there wasn't civilized cultures in America? And that by civilized, I mean like with like the kind of tech, like, yeah. If you read Louis L'Amour books, you kind of have an idea what I'm talking about. He hints to this a lot, and I kind of did too with the Spanish stuff, because even before the Spanish came, they're following in other people's footsteps, and yeah, there's a lot going on that we don't know, we don't understand about. And I think, like I was saying with the previous history, people used to have knowledge of this kind of stuff, and it's fading. A lot of it has faded, and yeah, I just feel kind of a push to absorb as much as I can. So I don't know if anything will come of it, but did you notice I'm really into Native American stuff, like culture, and it's just fascinating to me. And mostly what I'm interested in is how we misunderstand what that is, and in a big way, So I'm always looking for new Native American kind of um, texts, or just to give me more insight, because I'm constantly just exposing my ignorance on this subject. The more I learn. Okay, that's Indian Givers. How the Indians of the Americas transformed the world. Let's see. Should be fun. Also be fun getting this sticker off of here. I think, okay, there's one, I have one on the bottom that's nonfiction, but I think the rest of this is fiction. And the one on the bottom is really cool. So, are you bored? Skip to the end. Make sure you see this book. If not, here we go. Now, I'll just show you these three real quick. I bought this book just kind of on a whim. It looked cool. It looked like something I would read. I took it home and realized it's like book number 4 in a series. So it was kind of, yeah, it was very fortunate for me to find the other 3 books today in these beautiful hardcovers. So, in order. It's Leon Hearn, Across the Nightingale Floor, Tales of a Tory. These are like samurai epics. And yeah, if I'm correct, it all follows one character. And yeah, I've been looking for a good samurai kind of epic since I read Musashi. It's like one of my favorite books of all time. And before I reread, I want to read more samurai stuff. And it's just hard to find. If you read Shogun and you liked it, go read Musashi, because it's better. Okay. I think this is book number 2. Yes. Grass for His Pillow. What a great title. And I don't know anything about this character. I'm just hoping that I enjoy this. Brilliance of the Moon. Another great title. Tales of a Tory, book 3. So now I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if anybody's read this, please tell me about it. I see these sometimes, and I'm curious, because they look so cool, to be honest. Like the cover design, the titles, the synopsis. Yeah, it's got my attention. Okay. Here's a classic Western. If you like this kind of stuff, I don't have a lot of it. Go check out Six Shooter's page, because he crushes it with this kind of material. And yeah, I'm going to be on the lookout for more of it. Oklahoma Run. Alberta Wilson Constant. And, oh yeah, over on Book Zealot's page, she was mentioning, she got tagged in a book tag where they were talking about female authors. And this is a female author. I mentioned the only time I'm really looking for female authors is when it comes to these westerns, these classic westerns, because I don't know, it just seems like unique and different, and they would have a different viewpoint if they saw it and they were watching everything that was going on. Sometimes a spectator to like these kind of events that we're reading about is better than the action. So, not that women were spectating, but the tales are always about like these men shaping the land and how they grow and change and everything. Well, what better viewpoint than one of the women that were there? So it's a little beat up. I'm going to tape the crap out of this cover and try to save it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I'm not a collector. I'm a reader. So Oklahoma Run. Okay, I said enough nice things about ladies. Now this has been on my mind for a little bit, and I don't really know how to address this. There's really nothing cornier than all this motivational stuff for young men. I'm really opposed to it. I think it's just dog shit, to be honest. Like, name your favorite male motivational meme figure guy, and I'll roast them in the comments, because I just had enough of this horse shit. Let's go back to dog shit, because dog shit is way less useful than horse shit. But, and oh, if you've been following the channel, you know I don't think audiobooks are books. That might be why you unsubscribed. But this is one of the few audiobooks I listened to, like, in completion. I didn't read this book, I just listened to it on YouTube, I think. Iron John, a book about men. And yeah, I enjoyed it when I listened to it, so now I want to read it. It's like kind of like a mythology kind of for men, like, yeah, like coming of age kind of stuff. And yeah, just about young men maturing, I guess, and we'll see. I remember when I read it, it had a good effect on me, so I want to read it again. And that kind of thing has just been on my mind. I don't know what to do about it. It's like, if you're a young man right now, and they keep making young men older and older. I'm about to turn 34 years old. Nobody will admit that I'm old. I have to be a young man for the rest of my life, it feels like. And I'm not complaining about this. I'm just saying it's a tough time for young men. It's just, yeah. I wish I could talk about it, but I'm just not there yet. I don't want to sound like a baby, and I don't want to yell at young men. Like, we've had enough of this shit. How many times am I gonna say that? I heard Six Shooter curse in his recent video. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love when English people say curse words. Go check out his channel, guys. He's kind of getting the algorithm is not being kind to him. I know exactly why too. If you guys are interested in algorithm stuff, please email me, because I know it's corny, but if you have something important to say, we need the reach, so we could figure it out. But anyway, this is The Birds of America. It's from John James Audubon, and I think this book is from, let's say, 1946. Yeah, 1946 is the 5th printing. And it's just full. Did I show you the front? Can't see much. There's not much left here. It's kind of leaning a bit. I'll fix it up. Don't worry. But it is absolutely full of beautiful prints of birds. What else? What else would be in here? Oh, that's my favorite. I love a good blue jay. I really like the attitude of blue jays, to be honest. They're like one of the coolest ones to me. Oh, these ones are ripping apart an egg. Wait. Oh, I lost it. Oh, well. Yeah, I love blue jays. I love any kind of hawk I'm really into. So, I'm not a bird watcher or anything, but I always, when I see birds, I identify them if I can. Owls. Who doesn't love a good owl? When I was a kid, I had like 100 different owl statues. Everybody would give them to me. Alright. That's pretty cool, right? Almost 100 years old. So, if you stuck around for that, that's pretty awesome. I don't have anything bonus to share with you other than in the preamble to the video, I kind of mentioned that I can't exactly explain to you what's going on. One, it's too much. It already took me 25 minutes to make this video, and it would spoil future content, so that's a no-no. If you guys are reading if you're interested in reading Sackett series with us, it's not too late. Like I said, I only read the first one. You could catch up. You're way faster than me at reading, I can almost guarantee. And yeah, no man left behind, and plenty of time to catch up. Plenty of time to catch up. We have a Discord where the boys and one girl, one lady, who's riding shotgun. Um, they're just so silly, and it's a lot of fun. They're having a lot of fun, and I stay out of it mostly. I just check in, make sure they're not having too much fun because we got work to do. So until next time, guys. Peace.